guys, what's up? Cece back with another video. Welcome or welcome back. We are going to talk about the 5 things that you must do to start your 2025 off right. Now, in order for that to work, you need to do these things right now. Not now, but right now. In order to jumpstart your year, you got to get started today. Now, we've been talking about being in our discipline era, being in our winter arc era, and all of that. And I am also doing these things with you. I firmly believe that if you start these things before the new year happens, then you're already going to be 20 steps ahead when the new year comes. Now, if you guys have not seen my first winter arc series video, definitely check that video out because this video is really meant to complement those things that I say in that video. That is just another series of things that I think you need to do before the year end in order for on January 1st, we're already starting to achieve our goals. We're already starting to see some positive change and some positive results. So make sure you check that video out before you watch this one. But without further ado, let's just jump into it. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is writing a letter to myself to read on December 31st, 2025. This isn't just going to be any old letter. We're going to be very, very specific and talk about our accomplishments, how we feel throughout the year, and all of that. This letter is going to be written as if these things have happened. So you're going to write it today, and then on December 31st, you're going to read that letter and you're going to look back and reflect and see how many of those things actually happened. So the letter is going to read like this. Girl, I can't believe we were able to obtain our dream Audi R8. Is that an Audi? I don't know. I can't believe we were able to obtain our dream car this year. And we're going to be specific on what car that is. We were also able to finish our degree in insert your degree there. I'm so proud of us to see how far we've come. So that's just like a little excerpt of how your letter is going to sound, but you're basically going to put your vision board, your vision for yourself of 2025 into this letter. And then when you read it on December 31st, you're going to see how many of those things you check off that list. And speaking like something has already happened is so powerful, right? It makes you want to show up and be that person. You're going to read that letter and you're going to say, oh my God, this is the person I'm going to be. I have to show up as my higher self. I have to show up as my best self every single day in order for this person to come true. I have to show up like I'm already this person in this letter in order for these words to ring true on December 31st. So think about really what's important to you. The only way you're going to be able to write that letter is to reflect on 2024 and reflect on the important things to you. So you're going to have to know what it is that you think is important for you to accomplish in 2025. What are those things that you really, really, really want? And this letter is going to be specific, but it's also going to be realistic, right? So it's not going to be, girl, I can't believe we went to the moon in August. I mean, if that's realistic for you, girl, you put that in that letter, okay? But that's not realistic for most of us. I'm probably not going to the moon in August, okay? So I'm not going to put that in my letter. That's not what's important to me. So you have to reflect on 2024, reflect on everything that happened, reflect on your habits, reflect on what you hit and what you didn't hit, and understand why those things happened, why you did achieve this goal, why you didn't achieve that goal. Those are things you're going to have to really sit down and reflect and think about and understand in order to write this realistic but stretch goal letter. Now, I put this in the last list, but I still think this is important, so I'm going to say it again. Declutter what you can in these next few weeks. I don't care if it's one thing a week. If you can get everything done, get everything done. Go through your drawers, go through your closet, go through your pantry, your refrigerator, your makeup, your skincare, your hair care, all that stuff that you are not using, your purses, your shoes. Get rid of it. Any trash, anything that you're hanging on to that you can't fit anymore, anything that you're hanging on to that you have a question mark about. If it's a big enough question mark, like, you probably don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So I will say this 1,000 times over, a clearer space equals a clearer mind. This includes digital declutter as well, because I find that a lot of times, even if our spaces are clear, like if you work on your computer a lot and your computer's not clear, your emails, your photos, your videos, screenshots, like all them recipes you screenshot that you ain't making. Girl, I know I'm not the only one, okay? All those recipes that you didn't screenshot, get rid of some of those. All them workouts that you didn't screenshot that you ain't gonna do, just get rid of them. It'll be a whole batch of workouts and recipes for you to screenshot in 2025, but you gotta make room for it. Anything that you want to bring into your life, you have to make room for it now. So a new life, saying hello to a new life is going to equal saying goodbye to the old life. So saying hello, in my mind, saying hello to new clothes, saying hello to new makeup has to equal saying goodbye to my old clothes and my old makeup, because we only have a finite amount of space, right? I can't keep buying and buying and buying, and then everything just looks so cluttered and such a mess that it makes me not want to wear or use anything that I have because I'm just so overwhelmed. And if you find yourself getting that way, decluttering is the best way to just feel a little bit better about your space. In 2025, we are going to plan for more frequent goal setting, and that may sound a little overwhelming, but hear me out. I told you guys I was going to be rereading the 12-week year. I am actively in the middle of rereading that book, and that book just has inspired me to once again break my goals up into quarterly goals. I am not going to set yearly goals this year for most things. I will mostly be focusing on quarterly goals. I will set like a yearly book reading goal, but I will mostly be focusing on quarterly goals. That is it. I'm not going to talk about yearly goals because I had a problem over the last few years, I'll say. I have a problem with keeping my motivation high for an entire year. But if I can go hard at something for a quarter, if I can go hard at something for 12 weeks and really give it my all, and then take a little week breather and get back on a new set of goals, that seems to keep my gears going. It keeps my creativity flowing, and it keeps my eye on the prize. Very hard to see the prize when it's January 15th, right? You've had 2 weeks of good motivation. It's now January 15th and the prize is still in December. Very hard to see the prize at that point. But when it's January 15th and the prize is March 31st, that's a little easier to see, right? That makes it a little more real. I'm close. I am always close to my goals. Always close to achieving my goals. That is how I like to think about it. And so I'm going to set up everything around me in quarterly chunks. So even my Notion template, that'll be set up for quarterly goal setting. My planning like everything will be set up for quarterly goal setting. And of course I will share that with you. I think I'm even going to do a quarterly vision board this year. And so everything is really going to be laser focused on those few things that I'm setting the goal for. And of course we'll talk about what our goals are and all of that in an upcoming video, but that is just so you can be thinking about how you want to set up your goals. That's how I'm going to keep myself motivated and keep myself going this year. Again, the last few years I just found myself demotivated come March, April. I'm just done, and I'm like, the prize is so far away. I'm not even thinking about that. What I thought was important may not have even been important. Like, I thought it was important in January. Come March, it's no longer important. Come March, April, May, June, what I thought was important in January is no longer important. But I've already started on these goals and I feel like I have to keep going versus pivoting. But now every 3 months you can reevaluate what's important to you and what your life, what you really want for your life and what you really want to achieve. And I think that's more realistic, at least for me at this stage in my life. My fourth tip is to get in your discipline girl era now. Not now, but right now. Get in that discipline girl era, okay? So I mean, that's for your eating habits, your diet. If you are a content creator and you want to be more consistent on social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is, get on your discipline Zoom today. All right. Once the new year hits, you want to already have those habits in place. So you want to already have, I'm going to go to the gym 4 times a week. You want to already have that habit in place once the new year hits. So your goal now is not to go to the gym 4 times a week. Your goal now is some sort of physical goal. Maybe you want to lift a certain amount of weight on the barbell. Maybe you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to start with, I just want to create these habits in January. You can already have the habits created and start to go for your goals come the new year. And an easy way to start with that discipline is to maybe set some kind of challenge. So I know we only have a few weeks left in the year. So try to set like a 1-week challenge. So if you're like, man, I really want to read my Bible daily, that's going to be my goal. Do a 1-week challenge and read your Bible every single day for that week, right? And just start to realize and feel how this feels for you. Is once a day too much? Maybe you need to readjust your goal a little bit. That's fine, but you will already have and know how those habits feel and really how hard they are and how achievable they are by the time the new year hits. So you don't have to start from square one on January 1st. One of the habits that I will be starting today actually, is to plan my week out on a Sunday. And I mostly do that, but I'm going to incorporate some new things in that Sunday planning. So every Sunday I'll sit down, I'll write in my planner, you know, what I have to do and all of that. But every Sunday, I am going to sit down, I'm going to take 30 minutes, and I'm going to do kind of a life audit for the week. I'm going to reflect on how the week went. I'm going to reflect on how I felt in my workouts, how I felt in my Bible study, how I felt just in general in my relationship with my husband and my children. I'm going to journal a bit, and then I'm going to plan out my week. I'm going to plan out my meals. I'm going to plan out my workouts. I'm going to plan out my schedule and everything that I have to do for the week. Anything that I need to buy for the week personally, I'm going to add that to my list and obviously write out my weekly to-do list like I normally do. And I feel like going into the week, knowing how last week went, taking accountability for the things that I didn't get done because of whatever reason, just having that in my mind, that is going to be so helpful for me. And that's a habit that I want to incorporate starting today, like I said, and take it with me throughout the new year. I think having some sort of system where I audit not just every month, because so much can happen in a month, but if I'm auditing my life every week, that'll really help me keep track of how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, what's important, and if I need to pivot. The fifth thing that I'm going to do is make sure that I am making time for the things that I have been putting off. So in order to do this, I am going to add in an admin hour, well, 2 of those each week. So that's going to be 2 dedicated hours to projects, to my business, to social media, and not just anything, right? So I'm going to work at other times on editing videos or things like that. But when it comes to like, I want to change my YouTube intro, sometimes I'll put that off because I'm like, oh, I just don't have the time to do it. But I'm going to dedicate 2 hours a week, and I'm going to schedule those at the beginning of the week so I know what days I am dedicating this time to, and I'm going to break it up. So it's going to be 2 separate hours on different days, and I am going to work on something that I have been putting off. So whether it's graphics for my Etsy shop, or like I said, a new YouTube intro and outro, a new thumbnail profile, it could not just social media stuff. It could be scheduling my doctor's appointments, or I am the treasurer at my church, so sitting down for that 1 hour instead of putting off paying all the church bills, paying the church bills for that 1 hour, and getting things done. So I'm going to have the day scheduled out when I'm going to have my admin hours, along with a to-do list of what to get done during that hour. I have my little timer cube in the office, and I'm going to use that, set the timer, maybe have me a coffee, a mocktail, maybe a cocktail, depending on what I'm doing, and we're going to sit down and get ish done. Sometimes sometimes you find out, like, as you're putting things off and dreading doing things, you find out that it really doesn't take that long once you sit down and lock in. So if it's laundry I need to get done, if it's a junk drawer I want to declutter, whatever it is, I'm gonna make sure I schedule it within that power hour, and that's when I'm just gonna put on some music, put on an audiobook, roll up my sleeves, and get whatever it is done. I really encourage you to do the same. If you can do an admin hour, I'm calling it an admin hour, but really it could be anything during that hour. If you could do an admin hour every single day, I would absolutely encourage you to do that. That would be great time just to pick up your house, to make sure you're keeping up with cleaning, or again, that one thing that you keep putting off, you can use your admin hour to get that done. So I'm very excited about incorporating that. I have not done that yet, but I am going to start doing that this week. During my 30-minute scheduling time today, I'm going to schedule in my admin hours and write a to-do list of what I want to get done during those admin hours, and that'll just be my dedicated focus, laser focus work time. Alright, you guys, so that is it for this video. I hope this video was helpful and entertaining for you. If you would like to see any of these tips in action, I might give you a couple vlogs with some of them in action and continue on with my winter arc series. Let me know if you want to see that, because I've been really enjoying that and it's been really keeping me accountable and keeping me productive. But I love doing these videos for you guys. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying them. Let me know down below if there are any other videos that you would like to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.